Fight and Rage. You know, when I came across it and looked around to see what I had, it hit me. This is the Final Fight 3 follow-up I've always wanted. We have the different routes, the dashes, super meters, command inputs, AI companions, and all. But oof, there's so much more here. Before we get into that, this is Combat Overview. In these series of videos I go over just that, the combat. To be a visual manual and give a more in-depth look into what a game has to offer, because too many reviews gloss over gameplay, either calling it a button masher or giving it the blanket statement, it's like DMC. Actually, before we get started, I played entirely on my Switch, and honestly before I picked it up I was really iffy about the Switch being the console to play it on, because I wasn't sure if it can keep up with all the action. But I'm happy to say it does, actually. I never found any slowdowns or anything crazy like that. I was able to get my parries, my combos every time, even played on handheld mode a good amount, and yeah, still it was doing my thing. So if you want it on the Switch but was a bit unsure, nah, don't worry about it, it'll play great. Okay, now we can start. So Y will do our base attack, and once you make contact, then you'll start your combo. Now, cool thing you can do during your combo, so if you hold up or down by the end of it, you will do a throw ender, whichever way you chose, which is super good for crowd control. And even if the enemy is fully beat up, you can still finish your combo on them and do that throw ender. To grab enemies, you just gotta walk up to them, and it'll do it automatically. You can pummel them or toss them left or right to do that same crowd control. You can dash by double tapping the D-pad. It has two uses. One, it has a unique attack out of it that lets you move in with an attack that helps start a combo. And two, it can actually cancel out your basic combo. So you can do a dash cancel to move in for that grab. So it's good to skip over having to finish the entire combo to link into that throw ender. So instead you can just skip to the grab to get to that throw a lot sooner for crowd control if enemies are closing in a lot faster than you thought. Now if you press down then up and attack, you would do a DP. It's our anti-air and launcher. So it's invincible on startup, but you'll be left open pretty soon afterwards. It's a good way to extend our base string into the air for longer combos, but again, it leaves you open, so try not to use it recklessly. You jump in B, and yep, it has their own attacks here. One of them is this base kick that'll send enemies away, but if you press back, once you hit someone, you'll bounce off them. But pressing down while you attack will do a different kick. Now this one will leave enemies in hit stun a lot longer to start a grounded combo. It even combos into that regular kick too. But that's not it. So if you press jump twice, you'll do another attack that's unique to who you play. So Gals, for example, use more for repositioning, which is the whole thing since she's the fastest out of the three. Like something she can do is follow up a back throw because of that speed. The timing is pretty tight, but if you get it down, you can loop this combo letting you style on him. So yeah, Gal is the rushdown character here. All about speed with fast jabs, having multiple ways to reposition around the screen in a moment's notice, which also lets you follow up combos in a way only she can. But we do have two other characters. I didn't put nearly as much time with these guys, so I'm gonna give a general idea of what they have. So there's this Ninja F. Norris, who's the well-rounded pick, with a good amount of range and speed. Not only does he have a dive kick, but any good ninja worth their salt has an Azuna drop. We can even control it too, do some crowd control, but we can cancel a throw ender into that Azuna drop by pressing jump. Another thing that makes him different is having both a short and high jump, letting him have more control over some of his air follow-ups. And Ricardo, the grappler big boy role. For one, he got a damn drop kick. Something only he can do is move around while grabbing enemies too. But he also has huge normals letting you do crazy amount of crowd control. Might be the slowest, but he still makes his presence known. And he might not look it, but he can still do the crazy air juggle, cancel combos just like the rest of them. So everyone here is hyped to play and fun to learn what makes them unique. For our defenses, there's two options, and that's all we're going to need. So we have our specials. On neutral press, we'll do this crowd control attack. And if you're in the middle of an enemy's combo, pressing A will break out of that with that special. But that's not all, because in the air, it'll do a unique attack that's a great way to end our air combo safely. We also have a side special on the ground that's more of a combo attack. Those aren't exactly defense stuff, but hey, good defense is good offense, right? Alright, the last option we have, which is one of my favorite mechanics, is a third strike parry. To do it, you just gotta press forward at the right timing to parry an enemy's attack. And if you're fast enough, you can definitely parry back to back. But thing is, it's high risk, high reward. Because mistiming it will have you walk straight into a hit or a full combo and just being put in a bad position in general. The reward is well worth it, but I'll explain why in a second. So on our HUD, this is our health and this blue circle is our special. Any move used with A basically from our neutral, side, or air specials, we use it. After that, you need to wait it out for it to fill up on its own. Landing hits won't speed it up. What we can do is that parry. because a successful parry will instantly give us a full charge to use specials again. You could use it right away as soon as you get it to stop who's ever trying to hit you, or save it for later. But yeah, learning this parry is important to keep enemies at bay and to keep your pressure going. Because if not, using any specials without a full meter will use a portion of your health instead as a trade-off. So this is why parries are great, because it skips over any downtime we could have waited for it to return, stopped an enemy's attack from hitting us, and we didn't need to use our health for specials. Now the enemies are pretty good too, so we have a poison stand-in that'll do a 2-swing combo hitting on the way in and the way out. These cats who do blinker balls at you, and if you're too close, when they're knocked down, they'll wake up with an electric attack. There are jobber enemies who are very simple, but their power comes in numbers. They'll steadily approach you and from both the front and some who will try to set up behind you. They're here to make sure you don't stand still for too long or don't get away with very laggy moves. But they're useful to use to throw at more powerful enemies or to use for just general crowd control. We have ninjas who dive kick. You can DP that attack to anti-air him or risk getting punished on the way down. But since it's always a specific angle, what you can do is walk directly underneath them to dodge it if you're fast enough. We even have an M Bison lookalike who will slide towards us. No Psycho Crusher, but still one of the better enemies. Oh yeah, even an actual Bison. There's also these grapplers where your initial hits will be completely blocked by them. Because of that, you end up wasting time letting other enemies move in on you. But that's where the dash cancel comes in. Do a jab, dash cancel to grab them. Now you can pummel, throw, whatever's best for that situation. But then there's these birds who will instantly break out of our grabs. So this is a little sample of what you'll fight along the way, because there's a lot more to fight. But the enemies here cover all options and have you use all your tools. And yeah, that's Fight and Rage. On paper, it might seem simple with only 3 buttons, 3 main characters, 2 defensive options, and a minimal HUD. The thing is, that's what makes it approachable for anyone new to beat 'em ups. But it doesn't mean there's layers of decision making between every aspect of the game for more experienced players. But as a casual player, there's a lot here too. Because everything you do is adding up to something, from different routes with different bosses, to varied endings, or all the coins you get to buy stuff, which you get either way if you game over or not. And just playing in general will unlock more stuff in the shop, like different colors, game modes, like becoming like the pseudo fighting game, which is cool, or even an easy mode. All of this definitely makes it one of the best pick up and play beat 'em ups for sure. But for someone who's looking for more, oh yeah, there's a lot here to learn and experiment with. Like doing the combo trials for every character, which you can aim to get their black belt, figuring out all the enemy types so you can parry them, the extra modes like survival to climb the bloody palace, well, the elevator, the turbo mode that'll put your reflexes to the test, or even secret moves to figure out, giving characters more depth to the moveset. There's so much love and attention put into every corner of the game. Like, come on, the Mad Lad actually gave this little hint to a secret mode. But first you gotta buy enemies 9, 16, and 17. Hover on arcade mode, press these inputs, and bam! We have an altered arcade mode to play with enemies and those boss characters we bought. It's somewhat limited in the tools, so the game lets you customize some stuff like how many continues you have, which stage you play on, and so on. But those very specific characters we had to buy are actually altered versions of the base roster. I can't say much about F. Norris or Ricardo's, but when it came to the different version of Gal, she can definitely get combo heavy in her own way, making her very fun. So if this version of her was given this amount of care for a little higher level play, I'm sure your choice in main will too. Yeah, I might have missed a thing or two since there's just so much here for everyone. But yeah, this game is really good, to put it lightly. And honestly, I really think you really should try those trials, because there's this moment after I did a solid run getting Gal's black belt, and actually using those higher level combos in my arcade runs was pretty satisfying. Since there's no leveling up system or ways to get more moves to see growth in that way, instead it's all up to you to master a character's kit to elevate your plays. So when you see everything lined up by implementing those combos, hitting those parries, and just styling on them, it's going to be a pretty hype moment. So I give this game a try because it's a very easy to pick up and play game, but there's a lot here too to dig into for those looking for more. And to me, because of all of this, Fight and Rage is easily the spiritual successor to Final Fight we needed. But man, I wonder what Final Fight is up to these days.